I was born in New York City and grew up in the Bronx. Went to public school in Syracuse through high school, and then came to the Boston area to go to college. When I got to Boston, the civil rights movement was in full bloom, and there was a chapter of the Congress of Racial Equality in Roxbury. And that's when I first got introduced to all of the prejudice that existed in the North. Discrimination both in housing and especially in employment in northern cities. And then decided that I should work in the civil rights movement full time. We really thought this movement that was going on was so powerful and so pervasive. Spent the next 10 years in the civil rights movement and got more and more involved in community organizing. I think that the work that I have done in history, and especially African American history, grew out of the community organizing. One of the things that concerned me and others, especially those of us who were not from Boston, was we knew about Boston as the city of abolitionists, but then we got here and we saw all of this poverty and all of this disorganization, and we tried to make the connect. And so I got very interested in trying to learn about, so I could explain to the people I was working with why Boston was in the state it was in. My view is to try to be as effective as possible to do things to improve the community. And one thing I do know is that you cannot do that by yourself. I did a lot of work with ABCD and all kinds of organizing that was going on in Roxbury and the South End. As a community organizer, local politics, of course, was very important. In the early 80s, I got elected. When I came into the legislature, the question of civil rights was just as alive. The groups that felt that they had been alienated and oppressed, the groups changed. But the issue, fundamental issue of treating everyone as a human being did not change. And as the years went by, the variety of issues that arose in the legislature that I was interested in, could have some influence with, seemed to just keep growing. And so I am still here in the Massachusetts legislature.